All right, hey everybody, how's it going? I just want to start off once again by showing you guys where to find replays. Okay, if you go to v3.projectsupremacy.com/webinars, we are now uploading all replays to this page. Okay, so I have my two Facebook feeds I added. I don't know if I talked about that last webinar, but I have my two Facebook videos. I found them and I found out how to embed them. So these were Facebook live feeds that I did to basically teach people that don't know how to do any sort of affiliate marketing a little bit about that stuff, but it's really great. There's some really great training in there. So I have those two affiliate site examples in there. Okay. And then these are the replays. This is the fourth one. So there's 3 down here. And if anybody's watching a replay and you're not registered for the webinar, you can register on this button right here. So right off the bat, I'll show you guys that. That's where the replays are. You can also get to them straight from the home page. Okay, v3.projectsupremacy.com. There will be a little pop-up that shows here in a second. Just waiting for Facebook. It's on the bottom. There it is. Okay, you can actually click that button when the pop-up comes, and it'll take you back to that same URL. Okay, so I just wanted to start there. The next thing that I want to cover, guys, is I want to start off by almost doing my daily routine, okay, live on the webinar, so you guys can kind of get a little bit of insight as to, you know, what do I do every day with Project Supremacy V3. Number one, I like to keep everything secure and updated, so almost daily I log in and I see what I have available for updates across my network of sites, okay. I can see I have some Divi updates. I have some Aveda updates. Okay, so typically I'll just take a look and see what's there. Project Supremacy V3 has got some updates, which actually is a bit of a new thing. And I'll talk about that in a second. But actually, I'll talk about that right now, because if I update this, it'll go away. So one of the new things that we just added, guys, is if we go to the websites tab, okay, this is obviously a list of all the websites that we have active on our network. And right here, this little white tab that shows V3036, this is the version of Project Supremacy that particular website is running. Now, if it's in black, it's automatically already on the newest version, okay? And Project Supremacy version 3 does automatically update itself once it's installed on your site. You don't have to worry about updating it most of the time. Okay, there are instances where there'll be some sort of communication issue where it cannot update. And you'll see that. So like you can see right here, anything that's in red, okay, that means it's out of date, okay, and it's not updating. So what we've done is, before, because it was auto updating, we didn't give you the ability to update anything. So now what we have for it is you can manually update anything that's out of date. And if you want to be really quick about it, we added a new tag called outdated version, where if you click this tag, it will load all the sites that have an outdated version, okay, and you can update those all manually. And you can see right now I have 91. So there's a couple of ways that we can do this. We can go one at a time. Hopefully you won't have 91 sites that are outdated. And right now I'll tell you the reason why we have 91 that are outdated is there's a cron job error inside excuse me, inside of Spider Spanker security plugin that's being looked at, obviously. But it's blocking the updates for some reason. So no problem. What we can do is put the tag on, okay, for outdated version, and then I can go to switch view, okay, and that's not loading. I don't know why. Let me just try the tag from here. Let's go tags, outdated version. Okay, I guess the tag's not working for here, so we'll skip that. Basically, go to the dashboard, and we'll just start it. You can see there's some of the sites there that have the outdated version that need to be updated. The other thing I like to do is this little button right here. What this refresh available updates button does is it'll go and it'll refresh the queue of what's available to update. So all I'll do is I'll just go ahead and click update all. So we'll just get this process started, and I'm just going to update everything that I see available to update. For my spam, I see a lot of spam comments coming in here. So I'm just going to delete them. You can see 141 spam comments on Herc Magnus. It's a little crazy. I'll just delete those. Okay, and then these are comments that are in moderation. So spam comments are comments that go right into your spam filter in WordPress. Okay, whereas these comments right here are comments that are in moderation and they're waiting to be approved or denied, right? They're not spam filtered out. So I can just delete these. Actually, I like to go through these because I want to see if there's anything good or not. So I won't do that here. I usually go to the sites and check that out. So that'll be running now. We can also check on the updates log to see what's going on with our updates. You can see iTunes Alternative, the website is down right now, so that's not going to be working. All these are queued, so that's good. So now I can go into websites. Another thing I wanted to talk about too with updates, you guys will see sometimes things won't make sense to you. You'll be like, why is there an update showing over here, but it's not showing over there? Okay, and typically that's going to happen in a scenario where, like, so here's the site, custom stuff pets. Okay, and if I go to the plugins or even the updates, so inside the WordPress, okay, of that actual site, I can see there is an update available to the Thrive Architect, but on this page, I didn't see that update available. So I'll tell you why that happens. So we're looking at custom stuff pets. Let's go into the website for custom stuff pets. So we'll go to the websites tab and we'll just type in custom and it should come up. There it is. Okay. And then we're going to go into the website manager and you're going to see there's nothing available for an update here, even though there is here. And because there's no available update here in the website manager, it won't show up on the dashboard. The reason why that happens is because we actually run cron jobs for every website. So when you install the website with Project Supremacy, you get onto a queued cron, a schedule, so that the server is more balanced, because obviously we have thousands and thousands of sites running Project Supremacy, and we don't want everything running all at once. That puts a lot of unnecessary load and strain on the server. So we cron everything out. But if you want to come and update something outside of the schedule, you can see right here actually the next schedule, okay, for synchronization is January 30th tonight at about 11:06 p.m. But if you want to force it and have it happen right now, you can. You just click the synchronize button, okay, and then you'll see all of a sudden there it is. Now the plugin is showing as the update is available. And if we go back to the dashboard, okay, there it is. Now it's showing as available. So if you guys ever see stuff that's out of sync like that, it's probably just because the site hasn't synced. It syncs itself once every 24 hours and no more than that. But you can always go in and force that sync individually for each site. So I like to, even when I'm working on a site, okay, whether I'm working inside the actual WordPress or I'm working in here, I'll always come in and I'll just sync it. The first thing I do when I hit this page is I sync everything up just to make sure it's all good, right? Might as well update that as well. That's one of the things that I wanted to talk about that was coming up. Another thing that was coming up is the issue with 301 redirects. So you guys may or may not know this. Okay, I'm just going to go to a post. If I have any posts on this site, yeah, I do. Okay, so here's a good example post from last webinar. What we built into V3, okay, is the ability that when you change URLs, no matter where you change the URL, whether you're working, let me open another page. Actually, let me open this. Let's open the project manager. Okay, and then we'll go back to the post as well. Because you can change the URL of a post or a page in different places, right? You could do it in the project manager, obviously. Well, you could do it in two places, really. You could do it in the project manager, okay? If I change this URL here, it will actually change on the page itself as well. It's like I said, it's backwards compatible. On other webinars, I've covered this quite a bit. So if you change a URL here, it also changes on the page, but then what it does, Project Supremacy automatically creates a 301 redirect for the change. Now, the reason that it does that is because let's say, for instance, I was building links to this page. So let's open this in a new tab, okay? So let's say I was building a lot of links to this page because I wanted to rank it, and I'm building links, and then all of a sudden I realized maybe that my URL is over optimized, or I'm not allowed to use a brand name in the URL, whatever the reason is, okay, that you want to change the URL. Once you change the URL, all those links that are pointing to the old URL kind of become worthless unless you do something about it. And the thing to do is to create a 301 redirect. So let's give you guys an example here. Okay, so here's the link right here, Travelocity page. And let's say I wanted to change it to just be called Travelocity, okay? But all my links were pointing to Travelocity page. So I change the link here, or I change it in the project planner, no matter where I change it, okay? You haven't seen it happen, but it did create a 301 redirect. So I'll show you where to find those. If you go to Supremacy V3 SEO settings, okay, right here is a redirects tab. This has got added. These are all the redirects that were created, okay? And you can see right here, those two were the kind of when the WordPress page. So when you create a new WordPress page, it always starts with that question mark, P equals whatever. And then when you name it, it creates its own name. So it creates a redirect for that. That's a little clunky. We're going to have that fixed. We're not going to create a redirect until, you know, once the page is published. Then if the URL changes, we'll create the redirect. So we'll fix that. So I'll just remove those ones. Okay. But the other redirect should be in there. Or maybe I didn't publish that post yet, and that's why. So let's go make another change. Okay, let's do this page. Edit post. Or maybe I didn't save the post or something stupid. Yeah, I didn't save the post. That's why. So we'll edit the link, call it Travelocity, click OK, and then update the post. You always have to update your post for a change to take effect, obviously. Okay, now the post is being updated. There we go. Now the new URL is there. Now we can go into our redirects, okay, and refresh it. And automatically for us, we'll see the redirect has been created right here, okay? Blog Travelocity page is now 301 automatically to blog Travelocity. Okay, so now the reason this is coming up is some people are noticing, they're like, hey man, like this page is like redirecting. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how it happened. Some people don't even know that Project Supremacy was handling 301 redirects for them. So we'll probably put in some sort of notification on a URL change, like a pop-up that says, just so you know, a 301 is going to be created. Do you wish to create it? Yes or no? We'll kind of put an intermediary step in there so that you know what's happening. But this is where you can go, guys, to your sites. If you are having issues where you've made changes to things and you can't figure out why a page is going to one page or the other, this is probably why, because we're auto creating 301 redirects for you. All right, so I don't really care about that one. It's just an example page, so I don't need to worry about deleting it. What else did I want to show you guys? We renamed the affiliate link management to just link management because it's not really necessarily just about you know, affiliate links. It could be any type of link. Like if you're linking to anything, you can set up a link inside of the link manager and track its effectiveness and stuff like that. So I covered the link manager in a lot more detail on the last webinar, so I won't go over it again here. But one thing I didn't cover last time, and I do want to do it this time, is down here. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this down here. We have Amazon Market Help and ClickBank. Well, these are services that are, you know, obviously they offer affiliate programs that you guys can sell. So we were like initially creating connections to marketplaces so that you guys could do your research for certain products right within the plugin, which is always nice. The whole idea of Project Supremacy really was to really be able to do everything without either having to leave the app, which is your kind of central dashboard, or the plugin, which is kind of like the master you know, planning sheet for your entire site. So like say for instance, if you're a ClickBank marketer and you want to search for stuff. So I'm on the Bitcoin site here, on my Bitcoin site, and I want to look for, you know, some Bitcoin products in ClickBank. Well, I can just go into the product title and search Bitcoin or in the description, and then just click search, right, or apply filter, and it'll go and search the ClickBank marketplace for all the Bitcoin related stuff that has the word Bitcoin in the title or in the description or whatever. Then from there, we can start doing some either sorting. Okay, we can sort by commission amount, or we can sort by gravity. Gravity is one that I like to sort by, and gravity is just like ClickBank's measurement of how many sales are actually happening. And so, for instance, here we go. We see a product that's paying 52%. It's $38 per sale, and the gravity is over 100. So this is obviously the hottest Bitcoin offer on ClickBank, right? So if I wanted to create an affiliate link for this, that'll populate into here. Okay, I can see, well, first I can like read the description and go check out the page. So I'll do that real quick here. So I'll just go see the JV page, and it's, okay, click here to access the affiliate page. Blah, blah, blah. I can go through and read shit like that. I can go to the sales page, research the product, and stuff like that. And then if I liked it, okay, then I would just click on create affiliate link. What this will do is open in a new window. It'll ask me for my account name. So you would use your account name. Okay, and then you click create. There's your link from ClickBank. Now, when you go back to the site, it opens up the affiliate link, you know, the window to create the link. And I've covered this window in detail quite a bit on the last webinar as well. So I just, I did want to cover that because that was a feature of the Link Management Center that I didn't show you guys the last time. This was in V2 as well, but with V3, everything, of course, is so much better and so much more well thought out. Okay, let's go back over here and see how things are doing. So we got two more plugins, AIT and Century Clinic. Let's update those. So those probably came through a clone, and then I'm not a clone, a cron. And then I'm noticing I have some notifications. So as I'm updating plugins, certain things are happening, so I can go read it. So here we go. Okay, iTunes Alternative is offline. So I need to find out why. What do you mean it's offline? I gotta go check it out, right? So I'll just type in iTunes. There's the site. It's offline. I know it's an AdSense site hosted on my server and registered at name.com. So first thing I can do is go to the site itself and verify that it's offline. And it is not offline. Okay, so I can log into WP admin. Okay, and we're just gonna go reset the connection to Project Supremacy. So there's Project Supremacy. I'll go to the dashboard. Okay, I'm gonna go to troubleshooting. I'm gonna make sure that this, this one, whenever I have any sort of connection issues, I'll always come into the website, go to the dashboard, go to troubleshooting, and then I'm gonna turn this on, use alternative API endpoint. So what this can do, I'll show you the description. If you get panel communication problems, set this to yes. It'll drop a new PHP file onto the root of your WordPress installation and use it as another endpoint for communication. So I'm going to click Save Changes there. And then you can see operation completed in the last step. I'm going to update the server API key just to make sure that the domain is connected. It says everything's good. Now I should be able to come back here, search iTunes again, and there you go. Now it's connected. Okay, so that's how I troubleshoot that issue. So now I can get rid of that notification. Plugin failed to update on iTunes Alternative. Well, that's because it was disconnected. Another iTunes Alternative disconnected. Tide is offline. So it's the same process when I see these things. I'll go through. So now Tide is offline. I've got to go see why. Okay, so I just search for the domain. And they're wrong. Tide is online. So I know I can get rid of that notification. As to why this notification comes up, oh, that came up on the 27th. Okay, there is a date of when this notification happened. So I just haven't updated my, these are all old, 27, 27, 25. Okay, so there, I'm all good. So I can clear all my notifications, and that's how I troubleshoot, or maybe I should have gone through them in a little bit more detail. But if there's any problems, I'll get notified. I also get notified by email as well, right? So that's my process, guys, and I do that almost daily. And that's the way that I'm able to keep my entire network of sites, which is what, 174, and it always goes up and down. Sometimes I lose sites, sometimes I gain sites, but that's how I'm able to quickly and easily keep my entire network of sites update and secure, right? I just do a little bit of a daily process every day, and it handles everything for me, right? So let me see, now we got 4 more plugins. So you can see they're coming in actually as sites are, well, there's my 2 iTunes ones. We'll just update everything. now that iTunes is connected again. So maybe as cron jobs are coming in or whatever, new plugins are going to show up. So you don't have to do it all the time. I just do it about once a day. There's my, I'll delete those. Okay, and that's about it for that, guys. Let me see it. Rick says he gets about 2 or 3 notifications a day. They are usually online when I check. So Rick, you're saying you're getting, like how I just saw that there was a downtime notification. Okay, yeah. I don't know what, it might be something with like just at the moment that it runs and checks to see if it's online. There's a little glitch in the communication. I'll get the guys to look at that to see if there's anything in the error log that we can spot to make that a little bit more you know, error free, so that it's, because yeah, I do get them, but usually there's not really a problem. But the one thing you should do, Rick, is definitely that every site really that you have any sort of communication with, make sure this is turned on, this alternative endpoint. That just creates like a second level of communication between the plugin and the dashboard. It'll help solidify the communication. Sorry guys, let's grab a drink of water here. All right, we do have a new feature. I'm not going to go over it yet with you guys. You can see right here, Rescue Center. It is live now. I would warn against playing with this, guys, until we get the official documentation out on how to use this. But what this is going to be good for, I've covered this a little bit. We've let you know that this was coming, but it's now here. This is for rescuing hacked blogs. Or yeah, is it for cats or dogs? No, it's for rescuing WordPress blogs that are hacked. So if you get any sort of SQL injection attacks, or you start noticing funny stuff show up on your site, or sometimes you'll see those your whole blog is taken over and it'll say hacked by Juarez group or whatever, and they play these weird MIDI songs and shit like that. This will help you restore your blog back to a nice clean installation. So what it'll do, okay, is it'll reinstall all the core WordPress files, okay, and get rid of anything that it deems is like that shouldn't be there, okay. And we have 2 modes. We have easy and advanced. So I'll just show you like an example of advanced. So like, let's say I was running a 4.91 version of WordPress when my blog got hacked. I would select the version that I was running. I would download the files, okay. And then what it says, now I'll perform a file analysis of the download. And now what's going to do is it's going to compare what's on the server of our site with the actual WordPress 4.91 files from WordPress.org, the actual files. And it'll show you, here's, the difference. And you can see like black files are identical, green files are present remotely, but not, meaning green files are present on WordPress.org, but not on your site. Blue files are different on your site, okay, and should be overwritten, and red files are new files that doesn't exist remotely. So with this, it downloads the whole, it scans your whole WP folder, okay, and then it color codes everything for you, and then you can be very selective about what you want to replace, right? So for instance, in this action, you wouldn't really want to replace any of your plugins. So you could say, okay, turn off the themes, turn off the plugins, not on, we'll turn them off, okay? I don't want any of that stuff to be replaced. All the other stuff I'll let you handle because it automatically reads it for you, okay? And then you would start the rescue operation. What it would do is make all the changes. Green files would be automatically updated, blue files would be overwritten, red files would be deleted. Right? Then, so once your WordPress is reset itself back to the way it's supposed to be, then you can go to your plugins and themes and scan them. Okay, and what this will do is scan what your themes are, and it'll divide it into 2 categories, okay? It'll rescue anything that's on the WordPress repository automatically. You just have to click the rescue button. And what that'll do is it'll delete the files that are on your local server and re-download the fresh ones, so that if there was like an SQL injection attack and somebody went into your files in your WordPress, because this happens, and they added new files or they edited existing files to like be spammers, This will delete the old stuff, upload the new stuff. And then for any plugins that aren't on the WordPress repository, you just have to rescue them by upload, okay? Meaning upload the purchased plugin that you bought, and it will delete the old one, upload the new one, and you're back in action. Same thing for themes, okay? If I click plugins, I could do themes, okay? Here's the themes that we can rescue on the WordPress repository, and here, if you downloaded a purchase theme, excuse me, it would be there. And then finally, guys, uploads. What this scan will do is scan your uploads folder. And what uploads are, guys, is when you're uploading media, like images and pictures, you know, zip files, whatever, anything that goes into your media library in WordPress automatically goes to your uploads folder. So when you scan this, what it'll do is it'll scan for stuff that it's like fishy. Okay, so it's here, it's seen a couple things. MS, that very dangerous, very dangerous. Okay, so we can delete those, right? We can go check them out to see if there's part of anything, but I can tell you, any PHP files, and I'm glad I found this, any PHP files that exist inside your upload directory, especially with these weird ass names, you don't want it. You probably don't want it. So like, there you go. Now we can just delete those files, okay? So we found some suspicious files, boom. Okay, files successfully removed. So that's the Rescue Center. I'll do a more detailed version of it. What I'm gonna do though, guys, is I'm gonna wait till one of my sites gets hacked, and I actually have a couple. Then I'll shoot a video and I'll go through this process showing you how to take a hacked blog from being hacked to fully recovered again. But the Rescue Center is now live for anyone that has any hacked issues or hacked sites. What else do we got for updates? Let me see in settings. I don't think there's the affiliate stuff is coming. Yeah, I will, Kath, for sure. I just want to make sure I have a hack site so I can show you properly. You know what? I think that's really about it as far as like the new stuff that I wanted to show you guys. So we don't have a huge attendance today, guys. So what I'll do is I won't go for 2 hours. I think people get a little weird with 2 hours. Their iTunes is offline again. That's weird. Yeah, okay, I'll get them to look at that. And then iTunes plugin failed to update. So there's a communication issue that's happening there. I'll get the guys to look at that. So anyways, I'm not gonna go for 2 hours. I'm just gonna go for an hour today. So what I'll do is I'll just open it up to Q&A for you guys. Anything that you want to, anything that you guys wanna like have questions about with Project Supremacy, anything at all, I can do the Q&A for the last 30 minutes here. Kath, will the Rescue Center work on sites that got hacked, say, last month? Yeah, it should, Kath. I mean, I mean, as long as you know what the old WordPress was, it'll just restore the old WordPress files. It'll restore all your plugins and themes, and then it'll scan your uploads folder for any malicious content. And then you just run it all, and it'll clean your site right up. Do I use a preferred security plugin? Actually, you know what, guys? I don't actually even use any security plugins, to be honest. You can see like one of my highest performing affiliate sites is how to make money with Bitcoin, and I don't have a security plugin on it, and I usually don't. I just make sure I keep everything updated. Okay. How do you add geo on the pictures? Okay. Media library, okay. So any pictures that you upload into the media library, they do have to be JPEGs, okay. This doesn't work on GIFs for adding EXIF data, is I'm assuming what you're asking about, Raf. But any JPEG, you can come here and you'll see this Project Supremacy EXIF, and then you can give it a description. Okay, and then you can give it a latitude and longitude by searching, you know, Mesa, Arizona. You can search that. You do have to have your API key in, by the way, for your maps. Okay, and I can't go to my API keys to show you guys, but I can show you where they are. Okay, so if I go right here, your API keys, one of them is for a Maps API key. Okay, and it has instructions on how to get the API key. Once you have the Maps API key, you save it in your dashboard here, in Project Supremacy app dashboard. And then when you're doing your media library, okay, when you do your search, once you have the Maps API key, it'll populate the latitude and longitude, and then you just click save, and that writes EXIF data for you. Bruce, does a rescue center work in conjunction with backups, or is it an automatic thing? It is definitely not an automatic thing, Bruce. Rescue center is something that you have to execute on your own, and it doesn't work in conjunction with backups. Backups are just, it's backing up your site the way it is. So if you back up a site that has a virus on it, you're getting a backup with a virus on it, right? So you kind of have to know, where and when you got hacked. If you're going to use backups to restore your site, you kind of have to know where and when you got hacked so that you can download the correct backup that's still clean. Whereas the rescue center is just taking what you have installed and cleaning it all up and reinstalling it right now. So it's just a different kind of setting. Samuel Johnson, please clarify PSv3 affiliate link utilizing Facebook Pixel to get key phrase links into Facebook. I think you're combining a lot of things there, Sam. Yeah, you're really combining a lot of things. So there's PSv3 affiliate links are right here, okay? So let's start like this. Let's go, if you take any affiliate link, okay, and you go to the setup or the edit of that affiliate link, and you have the mask, I don't know why that's off, but you have the masked URL turned on. I always have all three of these options on for any of my affiliate links, by the way. So just turn them on and don't worry about it. It's the best practice for everything. So once those are on, oh, let me do underscore there. Okay, save that. Okay, so Tunes Go Mac. Right here, this little spy looking guy. If you click this, okay, it'll copy a shortcode. You can see down here, successfully copied shortcode to the successfully copied shortcode to clipboard. That's the URL in a masked form. So this is actually your affiliate link, but what I did with this guy, and I should put this in a bigger area, but what it did is it grabbed the masked URL. And what's great about the masked URL, okay, and I'll do this again in Facebook in the Project Supremacy group. Just go into, actually, I'll go into Digital Supremacy. No, I'll go into Project Supremacy. Excuse me. Okay, and I'm just going to search for my old post so I can do it again, masked. This is a masked PSv3 link. Okay, so let's go into this post. All right. Now, remember, I already have that link copied in my clipboard, so I'm just going to pop it in there. And you can see, let me, just so I'm very, very clear about what's happening here. Let me close some pages. Here we go. Okay, so once again, we have our link masked, right? Our site that I'm working on is itunesalternative.net. The affiliate link that I'm talking about is this affiliate link here, but it is masked. So I copied the masked URL and then I took it to Facebook. So it looks like an itunesalternative.net link, right? But when I post it, what it'll do is it'll actually bypass itunesalternative.net and it will pick up the description from the end goal, okay, or the end link. Like for this one, the example I did was an affiliate link that I shared that went to Travelocity. Okay, and I think maybe let me do this. In comments, reply comments, I think it's maybe a little different than in when you're actually sharing the thread. So I'm not sure if that's why it didn't show up there. Yeah, let me try just posting it. Or maybe that affiliate link's so old that, so you can see it fetching the preview. But the preview it's fetching should be the end page, which if really I should just go like this and see where that affiliate link goes. Okay, it's Wondershare. Okay, so it should pick up the data from Wondershare in the end. All right. There it goes. Okay, there it is. Wondershare. So and then I can delete the link, and it looks like I'm sharing a link from Wondershare when really what I'm actually sharing is an affiliate link. Okay, so that's part one, Samuel. And then utilizing the Facebook pixel to get key phrase links. So Facebook pixel is simple. Facebook pixel you get from Facebook, okay? And so what I do with every site that I really care about, that I want to create a custom audience for. So for instance, I don't really care about the site, to be honest. It was making pretty good money before, and I just kind of left it alone for a long time. I could revive it, and I probably should revive it. But if I really, really cared about this site, okay, the things that I would do when I set up a site, okay, so let me get my Facebook pixel lead page. I should just go to my ads manager. Whatever. Anyways, I'm not going to show you guys how to do this. I'm going to just take up a bunch of useless time. But grab your Facebook pixel if you care about a site. Okay, take it to V3 SEO settings. Okay, scripts, and then put in your Facebook pixel into your global scripts. And the reason why is now that every visitor that comes to your site on any single page of your site is actually getting pixeled by Facebook. Now, if you take that a step further and you create a custom audience for that site, every person that visits that site, okay, and fires that pixel will get added to your custom audience. So you can see, for instance, my How to Make Money with Bitcoin site has a custom audience of 60,000 people, right? And the reason I like that is later on, the last step of a site, if you really love it, is to create a Facebook page for the site, so that you can share posts from your blog to your page. And then you could boost your pages, your Facebook page's post to the custom audience, right? And it's super, super targeted that way. And I covered that in more detail on those replays as well. But the last step, when you're sharing a post or a page, and the best example for this one's actually, I'm showing this a couple of times now, is to create the open graph data first on the WordPress post that you're going to share. Whoop. So if you go to the post, okay, and then I go to this was the one I always show. And I should probably write this down for you guys, which is helpful. Okay, right here under social, I create open graph settings for Facebook so that when I share this post on my Facebook page, it shows up really, really nice. I control how it shows up on Facebook. I choose the image, I choose the description, or the headline, and I choose the description, right? So putting it all together, let me just do this, guys. And this has become very, very effective, okay? Okay, number one, create a Facebook pixel, okay? You're gonna have to figure out how to do that on your own, guys. Just Google it, okay? And I'll take this one step further. Create and install a Facebook pixel on PSv3 SEO settings. Scripts. Okay. So PSv3 SEO settings scripts. There's an example of the Facebook pixel installed. Okay. Number two, create a custom audience in Facebook for anyone, or I'll call it this, fires your pixel on your site. Okay, so this is a Facebook step. Okay, so you have to do this in Facebook, and I'm not going to show you how to do it. You'll have to look it up, but create a custom audience in Facebook. It's called the website visitors audience, where it says, add anyone who visits any page of this domain to my custom audience. Okay, and you're going to want to set that up right away. Number 3, create a Facebook page, okay, for your website, so you can advertise later on. Okay, these are all like what you want to do immediately, and you guys should all know how to create a Facebook page. My site is how to make money with Bitcoin. My Facebook page is how to make money with Bitcoin. Okay, and that's for advertising purposes later on. Okay, number 4, when you make any posts on your WP site, use Open Graph to control the look of the post. Okay, and that's in PSv3. And I'll use PSv3 Open Graph, okay? To control the look of the post, and then when shared on your Facebook page, right? And then number 5, when you want more traffic to your site, boost your post to your custom audience. And I'll make sure I'm very specific. Boost your Facebook post, okay, to your Facebook's custom audience. And you guys will be able to see how to do that when you research that. So that's kind of the whole process of really, I've been using this a lot more and like getting such amazing results. Okay, so create and install a Facebook pixel using Project Supremacy. Make sure you set up a custom audience in Facebook for anyone who visits the site that you're building. Create a Facebook page for that website. And then when you're making posts or pages on your WordPress website, use Project Supremacy Open Graph data to control how that page or post looks when you share it on your Facebook pages, or when you share the URL of that post anywhere, not even just on your Facebook page, but on other people's pages too. Open Graph data will control the look of that anywhere on Facebook. And then when you really want to combine all these elements together, okay, you share the URL to your page, and then you boost the post to the custom audience that you created. Now, this final step will take some time because a custom audience doesn't get generated until your site starts getting traffic, right? So if you have a low to no traffic site, that custom audience is going to take a while to build. So you'll have to use other tactics to start getting people to visit your site so that your custom audience grows. But that's just, our jobs as a marketers to promote our sites and stuff like that. The nice thing about once you do have a custom audience, and when you do start sharing posts and boosting them to the small custom audience, all the new people on Facebook, like the friends of friends and the friends of friends of friends that see that post, that are clicking on that post to go check it out, are also now getting added to your custom audience. So it kind of compounds on itself over time. So the bigger your custom audience is, the more people you can advertise to later on, which will add more people to your custom audience. Do you see what I'm saying? It kind of creates this compounding effect. So you definitely are going to want to do all those things, guys. Okay, long answer, Sam, but hopefully that was a good one. Rick, you always forget to send in questions, but you'd like to know. I don't really send in questions. I always do them live on the Webby anyways. But you'd like to know more about setting up schema. We get quite confused about things like, do you start with thing, organization? Okay, so I've covered this quite a bit too with schema. Okay. And I'll preface this, number one, by saying I am not a schema pro, guys. I don't know what the best type of schema for you to use is, but what I do know is that you always work. Okay, let's subtitle this. Okay, so schema best practices. Okay. Hang on, sorry. Always work in a most specific to least specific direction. Okay, meaning, okay, Rick, if you have a dentist, okay, let's actually go into our schema builder here. Okay, so if you're starting with a dentist and you're going to build schema for a dentist site, okay? And let's just assume that you know, 250. No, let's see. I think I actually have a dentist site. Okay, I do kind of. I have this site called Fluoride Journal. Okay, so let's work on the site Fluoride Journal. So I'll choose the URL of the site I'm working on. Okay, Fluoride Journal, and then I have a dentist. Okay, and you always start. The rule is always work in a most specific to least specific direction. So I'm going to type in dentist. There it is. Okay. So that's the type of schema I want to start with for this site, because it's exactly what I want. Now, if I was doing, say, instead of dentist, I was doing braces. Okay, I would type in braces. Oh, there's no schema for braces. Okay, well, who does braces? You know, who fixes braces? Maybe an orthodontist. So I type in orthodontist. Oh, there's no orthodontist. Well, orthodontistry is a type of what? You know, it's a type of dentistry. Okay, so then I type in dentist, and boom, there, I finally found the schema type that I need. Now, if dentist didn't come up, okay, well, what is a dentist? You know, it's pretty much a local business. The last two that you should arrive at, okay, until finally you arrive at either local business or organization. And that's kind of the last two, okay? If you can't find the specific type that you're looking for, then finally the best one to use is local business or organization for any type of business, okay? But if you're like using an affiliate site, like I have a blog, right? How to make money with Bitcoin, that's a brand, right? So I'd use brand, or I can even, if I wanted to, I can make it a blog, right? So there's my blog, it's a blog, right? Take advantage, guys, of this blue bar in your schema editor, because we pulled these directly from schema.org, right? So like for instance, local business, if I type that back in, whoops, I spelled wrong. BSI, come on now. There it is, okay. When you type in and click on the schema type that you're going to start editing, it'll always show you there's the schema type, and then it'll give you a description of what that schema is for. So a particular physical business or branch of an organization, right? Examples of local business include a restaurant, a particular branch of a restaurant, or a branch. So even through reading that, guys, organization is a better schema type than local business, because they're kind of saying local businesses is more like a branch. And Terry Samuels actually talks about that a lot. I believe he always starts with organization as a more apparent type than schema. So there's a good example. But yeah, use these descriptions. They're very, very helpful. Okay, so let's just go back to dentist anyways. Okay, so once again, I load the site, okay, that I'm going to be building schema for up here. All right, then I choose the schema type that I want. Okay, dentist, bloop. All right, and then I start filling things in. All right, so I know, and they're organized alphabetically now, by the way, so you know that you can do things faster. So I'm only going to do very, very, very basic schema here. So the name, okay, excuse me, Fluoride Journal, okay, which is maybe more of a blog than a dentist, but we're just going to pretend it's a dentist. Fluoride Journal, that's the name, and then I'm going to use Control F to find description. There's my description. We are good dentist. Okay, whatever, you do it a little bit better than that, right? And then maybe you want to have, you know, your hours of operation, okay, opening hours, okay, Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, okay? And I think there's an actual specific format that you're supposed to use here, but it'll tell you if you're wrong, and I'll show you that in a sec. Let's just leave it. Let's just leave it at that for now, okay? So what you do, guys, is you fill in as much or as little schema as you want, okay? And then I'm going to save this. Now I have to give that schema a name. I'm going to save it because we're working on Fluoride Journal. I'm just going to save it as default or homepage. I'll just call it HP. I'll just call it HP. So I'm going to click Save Schema, okay? The other thing too, guys, that you can look at is when you're working within schema, you can always click this little eyeball, and that will show you only the schema type that you've entered versus all the schema, properties that you've entered versus all the schema properties that are available within that schema. So dentist has all of these as properties. So I could quickly switch between what I've used and what's available with this little eyeball, okay? And make sure you're using that, it's awesome. So there's our dentist schema. Oh yeah, the other thing that I'll say, actually I'll just go through this with you. So now I can go down here to Fluoride Journal. There it is. It's now in our saved schemas because we worked on it and built it. I can click the little button, okay? And the first, okay, so the hierarchy of our schema, let me pull this down so it comes up a little bit, and I'll make it a little bigger. The hierarchy of our schema folders, guys, and saved schemas is number one, it's going to show you the folder, okay, of the schema project that you're working on. So if I click on the little plus, it'll open up the folder. The next thing it's going to show you is these 3 blocks. Those 3 blocks represent a schema type that you're working on, okay? So this means dentist schema. Now, if I open that up, there's the actual dentist schema. You can see it's in blue. Things in blue are editable. Things in gray are just names. Okay, this means dentist schema type. The little bracket, backslash bracket means it's editable schema. It's in blue. So now I can open that up and there it is. Okay, so like for instance, if I go to Herc Magnus, you can see Herc Magnus is a brand. I have products that I'm advertising on Herc Magnus, Project Supremacy, and then I have an aggregate rating for Project Supremacy, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now once that schema is done, okay, so I'm going to go back to my dentist schema. I can render it so that I can look at it. Hopefully I'm on the right one here. Yeah, I am. I'll just grab a drink of water. And it shouldn't take this long to render such a simple schema. I'll tell you that. I might have wadankadonged my computer here. Hang on. Let's reload it. Fluoride Journal, dentist, editable HP homepage schema. Okay. I can also change the name. As I'm doing stuff, I'll show you. There's H page. I'll just save the schema. Okay. And now when I open up Fluoride Journal, now it's H page. Okay. Just so you know that. Okay, there it's loaded. Let's render it. There we go. Very, very fast. There's the JSON LD schema that we just built. Okay. I can take this, copy it, and paste it to any site I want. A WordPress site, an HTML site, whatever. Okay. But with Project Supremacy, to install this schema, okay, what we're going to do, I'll show you 2 different ways. We're going to go to the dashboard, or sorry, the websites, and we're going to load that site because we were in I'll just type in FLO, or FLU, I guess. Yeah, there it is, Fluoride Journal, okay. I'm going to go to the management of this website, okay, and I'm going to go to schemas, okay. Now, it's going to show me, okay, I have the option of a homepage schema or a per page schema. Really, guys, homepage schemas, you can use them, but don't ever try and get star ratings on them. It'll never happen. So what I'll do now is what this is doing is showing me all the schemas that I have saved, right? But it's going to default to the site that we're working on, so you don't really ever have to do that. But then you can see right here, this D stands for dentist, and that's, you can see the name of it is H page. I gave it that name. In brackets is the official name of the schema type, dentist, and then there's a big capital D here just to make it easy to find. Now, to install that schema on the home page, I just have to drag it over to the home page, and that's it, right? Now it's installing that rendered schema that I saw for me. Now that it's installed, I can perform the validation. I know it's going to fail because my hours are entered incorrectly, or at least I think it's going to fail. Or the other option, once it's installed, is to actually visit the site and go to the schema testing tool. So I have one right here installed as a short code called Structured Data Testing Tool, where I just click on it and I say send to Google. And then it sends the URL to the Structured Data Testing Tool for Google to be checked. Oh, look at that. There's our dentist schema with 0 errors. So apparently our opening hours are good. I don't even need to worry about the format. Okay. The other thing about our schema, guys, and this is a very, very important point. When you guys are doing schema and you're seeing certain errors, or like you're seeing H entry and you're seeing all these other things, do you notice when I put in Fluoride Journal here, guys, there was nothing except for the schema that I had. There was no like H entries. There was no other stuff like that. It's because Project Supremacy only does what you give it, right? So if you're seeing other entries, a lot of people are like, hey man, Project Supremacy is adding all this weird shit to my sites. And it's like, no, it's not. Trust me, that's coming from something else. There's a ton of other plugins and themes that also try to inject schema into your sites that you may or may not even know about, right? But I'll tell you how to tell what is Project Supremacy schema or what is not, okay? By default, guys, here's the schema. So if you click, and I don't know if you guys know this about the structured data thing, but if you click on type, it'll highlight that entry for you, or description, it'll highlight that entry for you in the code. But here's our code, guys. Here's what got inserted by Project Supremacy. And I'm going to make this, I'm going to copy this or make it big here, okay? We always wrap any schema that we put on your sites in an opening comment. Right here in orange, you can see Project Supremacy schema and a closing one. So anything between these two tags is what Project Supremacy is adding as schema. Anything else outside of those tags has nothing to do with Project Supremacy, and we didn't add it. So if you're getting errors on stuff and it's not inside of these orange tags, you have to go look elsewhere other than Project Supremacy. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is we get a lot of support tickets from people saying that PS is screwing up their schema, and a lot of times we're like, no, it's not. And this is all we ever do to show them that. Like, this is what we're responsible for. All right, I think I'm going down a lot of rabbit holes here. So Rick, how was that, man? Does that answer a lot of questions about schema? The last thing I would say about, oh, there's our valid schema was detected anyways. So this is our validator on the site, but it's the same thing as doing this. Okay, good. The other thing, guys, about schema, I guess I might as well keep going with more details. I wouldn't ever really recommend this, but this button right here, forcing the homepage schema, what this will do is apply this schema that we built to every single page on your site. Now, we've done that and we've got away with it, but I think that was kind of in the old Wild West days of schema, where, you know, Google was still not really penalizing people, or people were getting away with more shit. And if you really, I think if you really want to be safe, don't do that. Create the schema that you need per page. So like, for instance, if I actually created, like, say this dentist had a bunch of services, like he has an orthodontist service and he's got a braces service or whatever, and you create the services offered schema, okay, for that site. I've never done a services offered, but we'll give it a go here. So let's load up our fluoride journal. Okay. Let's make sure we're working on fluoride journal, FLU. So there's fluoride journal, and we're going to do services offered because I know it's something like that. Service, accounting service, blah, 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 blah. Lots of services. Professional service. Let's go offer. Okay, so maybe an offer catalog or an offer. Okay, an offer to transfer some rights or item to provide a service. No, that's not really what I'm looking for. See, this is what I mean, guys. I'm not really a schema pro. I'm not the best at it, but all you ever have to do, and all I ever do, is just keep searching and reading the types and be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I'm looking for. Like, let's go back to offer. So let's do offer catalog. An offer catalog is an item list that contains related offers and or further offer catalogs. See, I'm looking for like extra services or services offered. Professional service. Maybe it's just, you know, professional service. The original definition, provider of professional services, the general professional service type for local businesses, was deprecated due to confusion with service. For reference, the types that were included were blah, 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 blah. So maybe it's professional service. I don't know, whatever. But if you wanted to add more, you know, say on your, the point of what that I'm trying to make here is, like, if you had a dentist page that offered a bunch of different services like braces and orthodontist and teeth cleaning or whatever, you'd probably on your site have a page for each of those services, right? Then what you would do is create the schema for each of those services And then when you go back to your websites, okay, and we'll do FLU again, and we'll go in our manager website, and you want to add the schema for those particular pages, you would switch from homepage schema to per page schema, okay, and then you'd select the page. So like our dentist services review, whatever, maybe that's where I would, you know, add my, if this was a orthodontist, I'd add my orthodontist service to this page. Like, make your schema as specific to the page as possible, and that's how you would load it onto there. So this is homepage, this is per page. To kind of get a little more in depth, guys, and to show you the flexibility of Project Supremacy, there's two places that you can add schema. Okay, and I highly suggest starting here. When you do start in your app, go to the schemas tab of your website manager, and that's where you'll add your schemas. But if you do happen to be perusing your actual WordPress blog and you're in a post and you want to add schema for it, you can do it right from the post or the page as well. One second. Okay. So right down here, guys, in our Project Supremacy SEO box, schema, okay, we can actually click this button, assign schemas, and it will once again preload the fluoride journal schema, or at least it should, but I can also search for it, dentist, okay, there it is, dentist homepage, and then I can just click assign. Okay, and there it is assigned, and then I can render it and preview it, or I can validate it. Same as what we did over here, but it's here this time. Oh yeah, I forgot to save the page, by the way, and I got to turn this on. Okay. Raf, you do that and then go back and it's gone. Do you have an API installed? Maps API different than the YouTube. Send in a support ticket, Raf. Bruce, would it be best to do a rescue before doing a backup? No, it's a different thing, Bruce. Doing a rescue is like you've already been hacked. Your site is screwed. Rescue Center is for rescuing sites that are actually hacked. Rick, so I would like to know how to choose the right schemas and sub-schemas for a website. Yeah, that's becoming a Schema Pro. I think we're going to have Terry Samuels come on and start talking about that. But guys, like, that's the thing that I keep trying to explain to you guys. And I keep getting people telling me, teach us how to do schema. And it's like, look, I can teach you how our Schema Builder works, but I cannot teach you the right types of schema to use for your site. Schema's too big. There's literally thousands and thousands of schema types, guys. Okay, each one of these that I'm hovering on is a schema type. But within each schema type, so if I load up API reference, look at all the properties that are there for each type. There's literally thousands and thousands of available schema things, guys. And I'm honestly telling you, I'm not a pro at this, guys, but I can tell you how I do schema is I do the searching and reading, right? You guys are gonna have to get good at reading and understanding schema on your own. I'm not really a schema pro. I'll try to find someone that's good at it and can teach it in a more, you know, use this for this situation, use that for that situation. But I mean, just using your heads kind of, guys, to be honest, and using the search function and reading is the best way that you're gonna add schema. Plus, I mean, you don't have to add perfect schema to a site. Just adding a little bit of schema is very, very beneficial to sites. Typically, I'm only either adding, like, one of the most involved schemas I've ever built really is for how to make money with Bitcoin, where I made my brand how to make money with Bitcoin, okay? And I have an aggregate rating for my site so that people can review my site. But then on the site, I have a couple different products that I promote, okay? So within each of those products, I have the brand of the company that owns the product, and then I have an aggregate rating of the product, and the thing that I'm reviewing is the company, right? But all this came from just messing around and like just reading descriptions and shit like that, right? So I'll show you that schema. But like that's the most convoluted, or not convoluted, complex schema that I've ever built. But it works awesome. Because now I have those pages. Well, I had to take one down because the company shut down, but this one, for instance, and actually I don't recommend joining this company, by the way, anymore. I should be taking this down, but here's that site, okay? And then I actually have the stars showing up for that that one, and it's actually real. These are actually real results and real votes, and it just all worked really, really good. So you guys are gonna have to do a little bit of getting your hands dirty in schema here, guys. I will try and find a trainer though, I will. Kath, is it good practice to assign multiple schemas to the same page or post if that page or post covers several topics? I guess I'd have to see an example, to be honest. I don't really know, Kath, to be honest. I'm trying to think of what you might be talking about, like covering several topics, as in, you know, if you're doing like a weight loss review, you're going to talk about the benefits of something, and then the negatives of something, and then the ingredients of something, and maybe is that what you mean? Or I'll come back to that question when I see your reply. Or multiple services. I don't think you should have multiple services on the same page. If you're really being careful with what you do with your local business sites, each page really should have its own service for ranking purposes. But if you have multiple services, you know what, Kath, go in the group, go in the Facebook group for Project Supremacy and tag Terry Samuels in that question. About the multiple services and how he builds schema for multiple services. Okay, do you have advice on using either posts or pages for different cities for local SEO? Is there a simple way to create city-specific schema for a list of the cities? If you have different locations, David O'Neill, you just create multiple local business schemas and change the address on each one and assign the address to the proper page is the way that I've handled that. Excuse me. Here, Bruce has a URL he wants to share, so we'll go check that out. Was this the, oh yeah, this was that one that we had last time. This is a good URL, guys. Let me pop it into your chat box again. A list of local business schema codes and the type, the actual schema name that you should be using according to schema.org. Okay. So like if you're a BMW dealer, you should probably be using auto dealer. And if you're a bookkeeping service, you should probably be using accounting service. Or if you're a cigar shop, you should be using store, right? This is really, I think, one of the best things for helping you guys understand, correlation between what your business is and the type of schema that's probably most appropriate to use for that. This is a really good list for that, and it's a lot better than I am, I'll tell you that. Samuel, aggregate rating explained how it works for the stars. Do you mean how to get stars, Samuel? Well, like, what's the question specifically? True. So how to get stars? Well, I mean, getting stars, to be honest, is pretty simple. The easiest way to do it is just put an aggregate rate, build an aggregate. There's even snippets. Where was that post that I showed? I posted in Project Supremacy. Mark Luckenbaugh's post about schema. Oh shit. This one right here. I'll share this link with you guys as well. You should probably read this. Here you go. That's the link in Facebook. And you guys, there's Terry right there. Okay, he's the guy you want to ask schema questions to. Terry Samuels. You're gonna get bombed with schema questions now. If you go read this post, Samuel, to get back to your question, the simplest way to get schema is literally to take a snippet of code called aggregate rating and paste it on your block. Okay, and I'll show you that. He has that in here. And I'm not recommending this, okay, but this is it right here. This is all aggregate rating schema is. This is telling Google, I'm a roofer, service roofer, okay, and our aggregate rating is we're averaging a 4.9 out of 5 across 134 votes. Now, if that's all you add and you add it to every page of your site, you're going to end up with a scenario like this. Okay, so this site, asbestoslaw.pro, every rating is a 4.6 with 28 votes on every page, right? 4.6, 28 votes, 4.6, 28 votes. And you can see there's 500 results of this, okay? And then if we search this shit, okay, asbestos lawyer, Pennsylvania, okay, there we are right there in Google, and we're the only one on the first page with star ratings. But this is absolutely the most spammy type of schema you could do, because if you go to the page, and this might be overlaid now, I'm not even sure, but if you go to the page, there's actually no reference to ratings. Here's an actual box to collect them, but there's no ratings given anywhere. So if we actually send this to, let's take this website and I'll show you guys the schema for asbestoslaw.pro. Okay, we'll send it to Google schema checker. It's really terrible schema and spammy, so you can see it. Here's our local business. These are problems. The things that are X's are problems, and these things are warnings. I'm kind of glad this came up too, in a way, because, okay, and whose schema is it? Let's back up. Let's look at this. Okay, whose H entry is this? Okay, H entry is up here. Article ID post equals blah 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 blah. Not Project Supremacy. That's probably more related to the theme. Okay, even though the H entry has 0 warnings, you're not worried about that. But then local business, 1 error, 3 warnings. Whose is that? Click on the type. Oh, that's Project Supremacy schema. Okay, there we go. So that I know that that's ours, and there's errors. But the funny thing is, guys, even though it's spammy, even though it has errors, even though it has warnings, we're still ranking. Okay, and I'm not just talking about one keyword. Like, as I just did asbestos lawyers, Pennsylvania. Here's asbestos settlement, Michigan. There we're number 1. Okay, asbestos. Let's try lawyer in Michigan. No, we're not there for that. I think we were on some big cities too, Detroit and Chicago and stuff like that. Anyways, this is a SERP-Tech site that did really well. But the point I'm trying to make, guys, is, and I'll get to your full answer, Samuel. There's a lot of misinformation about schema and a lot of misknowledge. Here's an example of a site that was kind of poorly built schema, full of errors, yet it's still ranking. And it's probably got, if I had this site hooked up to Google's webmaster tools, I probably have a spammy structured data markup warning or error. And a lot of people think that you lose rankings when you get those. And I mean, here's an example of a site where it's breaking all the rules and still working. Okay. Now, the point to bring it all back home is you can add aggregate rating by simply adding a snippet of code and telling it what the rating is. Okay. 134 votes, average 4.9. And that site that I showed you was an example of that. Now, the more responsible way to add schema is kind of the other example that I showed you, where someone's typing in something like Bit Club Network Review, okay, and they're seeing this site. Oh, there's Todd. Hey. I'm just gonna mute you here. Unless, do you have anything to say, or?
No, fine.
Okay. Okay, sorry. This site, guys, is more, it's responsible schema. So I'm actually putting in, I'm reviewing a product, I'm putting in item and thing. Like this is the actual schema for the page that you're looking at. Okay, this Bit Club Network schema. So if I go render the schema, you can see it's built properly. Okay, we collect reviews on the page. If I click submit your review, there's the review collection box. I got some div problems I got to fix there. We display the reviews, we display the ratings, right? So there still is an aggregate rating, okay, which is ultimately in the end, it's the aggregate rating schema that Google reads and then displays the stars. But you can choose to supply the aggregate rating and be fake about it, and it works for now. Or you can actually use something like Project Supremacy, where you're actually collecting real reviews and people are actually leaving reviews, and then we compile it. Project Supremacy compiles it, does the averages for you, and keeps it updated in real time. So if you guys, let me show you an example. Okay, let's do this right now. I'm going to put a link in your box, guys, and I want at least one of you to please go to this site that I just put a link in your chat box, howtomakemoneywithbitcoin.net/BitClub-Network-Review. Click on submit your review and leave a quick review. Okay, let's do this right now because I want to show you what's happening when you're doing responsible schema. So before you guys do that, let me show you what the aggregate rating and shit is right now. Well, we actually already know it's a. I'll show you from schema though. It's a 5 out of 5 from 3 reviews. There's only 3 reviews on this page. And I'm secretly just trying to get you guys to review my site for me so that I get better ratings. But no, I will show you shit too. And if you want, you can give me a shitty rating. I'll just go in and change it later to a good one. So let's do that. And put a 1 in the chat box if you've given me a review so that I know that they're coming in and I'm not sitting here waiting like a fool. Somebody's got to do this for me, please. Okay, thanks, Sam. So here's how it happens. So Sam, you just submitted a review and it said it's going to go into a queue, right? Yeah, no problem, Yardine. There'll be a replay. So let's go to my website. Okay, I know it's in the queue. There it is, Sam. This is your review. Just showed up on my dashboard. Okay, or maybe it was you. It says Paul, but somebody named Paul just submitted a review, and now it's showing up in a queue moderation for me. Okay, so there's a couple places that I can see this happening. Oh, that's yours. Thanks, Paul. Number 1, I can see it on my dashboard. Let me refresh my screen here to a regular size. Okay, number 1, I can see it come in on my dashboard. Just like comments and spam and shit like that, I see reviews come in. Now I can edit that review. If I click on edit, okay, it'll take me into how to make money with Bitcoin WordPress Manager, and then I go to reviews. I can see all the reviews. Oh, a whole bunch of you left a review, okay? Now, I can see the reviews. They're all 5 stars. I can approve them, I can delete them, or I can edit them. So there's David McNeil. He didn't leave an address. He gave us a location and his age. I'm gonna make him 99 years old. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna save that. And now I'm gonna approve all these reviews, okay? Actually, I won't approve them all because I'll show you where they also show up somewhere else. Page or post ID is 568. So let's go into the site. I'm going to go into the reviews. So we're on how to make money with Bitcoin. I'm going to go into reviews. 99. I was just kidding. Good guess on your age. So here's the other place that you can see them, guys. So remember, the app, you can always see everything in the app and edit everything centrally on your dashboard, but we also have it inside the plugin again. So if I go to the actual site, how to make money with Bitcoin.net, go to the reviews tab, here's the reviews, and it's the same thing. Okay, I can see all this information about the reviews and I can approve or deny them. So now, remember, before we started this, okay, we had a 5.0 rating from 3 reviews, right? And on Google, okay, here's the aggregate rating for that site, okay? And you can see the best rating is a 5, the rating value is a 5, the worst rating, blah, blah, blah. It's got all these weird numbers. But anyways, the point is the review count is 3 and the rating value is 5 before we started, right? But then I approved all those reviews, right? So now when I refresh this page, watch this change now. It changes automatically with Project Supremacy. So now I have a 5.0 rating from 8 reviews. So it got better, like the rating didn't change, but now I have 8 reviews. This box right here, guys, is going to display at random. I can make it, so I set it up, first of all, and I said I only want to show 2 reviews on this page, but I want to show the average as well, but only show 2 at random. So you can see Dynamite and Sardis are the 2 reviews, but if I refresh the page, it'll randomly display 2 different ones. Okay, and that's all settings inside of Project Supremacy that we could do. Best stuff and great site now. But if I wanted to see all the reviews, I could show more. Now I could show 5, 10, 2, 3, whatever. Okay, but here, those are just some options of Project Supremacy. But the cool thing now, guys, that we have 8 reviews. Okay, if we run this test again in Google, so what does Google see? Okay, and it's obviously going to be, you know, the same thing that you just saw, but now it'll update itself in the actual aggregate rating. And the nice thing about that, okay, whatever, we'll just trust that it did what I'm telling you it's going to do, right? The nice thing about that, guys, is now whenever Google goes and crawls that page, sorry, it was BitClub Network. Okay, whenever Google goes and crawls that page next, this rating is going to change. It's going to now say 5 and 8 votes because you guys just put in the votes for me. It all updates automatically. Now, to bring it all home, that, guys, is how you do responsible schema, okay? In this particular instance, I was reviewing a product, okay? And I'll kind of layer all the schemas that I used on the site, okay? The site was how to make money with Bitcoin, okay? So I had a brand for my actual site. Not on that page. I have that as my home page. Okay, homepage schema is brand for my site. Okay, and then that particular page, which was BitClub Network Review. Okay. Oh shit! Why is it all boldy? Let's change this just so we can, I think, try and help you picture it. Excuse me. Let's get rid of this. Homepage, I use brand, okay? And my brand is how to make money with Bitcoin because it's my site. Okay, but for this particular page, the BitClub Network Review, okay, I have a brand, okay? And that's the company, right? And then I have an item, and that's their product, which is Bitcoin mining, right? And then I have an aggregate rating of the item. So what am I reviewing on this page? Okay, so I'm reviewing the item, right, which is Bitcoin mining. But the company who supplies the Bitcoin mining is BitClub Network, which is the brand of the company that owns the item, right? So if we go look at it, okay. Oh yeah, it's product, sorry. But you can see, here's how we built it. BitClub Network. Okay, so there we go. And then I have to open this one more thing. Okay, so I started with product. Okay, I wanted a product. So let's open up product schema, and then I'll show you how I got deeper and deeper. So I opened up product schema. Okay, and the brands associated with the product or service. Okay, I read this and I was like, yeah, I should put the brand in there. So I added brand schema, but you'll notice that it's another one of those layers, right? So I'll just show you the stuff that's actually in there. Aggregate rating. Yeah, I wanted to actually create an aggregate rating for that as well. There's the description. BitClub Network is a Bitcoin mining operation. An image of the item. It's just a link to their logo. The name, BitClub Network, same as, right, markup. I linked same as markup right to their site. And then the URL of the item was the URL of my review. Okay, so, but because I wanted to use aggregate rating and brand, I had to dig a little deeper. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Let's go to aggregate rating and look at that. What am I rating? So let's only look at what we have, okay? What is the item that we're reviewing? Well, I'm reviewing BitClub Network. Okay, you can see that's one of those add-ons. Item requires a new level of schema. That's what these little circular things for, versus these boxes, which are just text. You just type into the text, right? So I wanted the best rating, the worst rating. We have to have certain things in there. So I got those in there. The URL of the item, once again, was my review. The name of the item, BitClub Network, an image, and then I was like, the item being reviewed. Oh, okay, I have to create a new schema, item, right? Or the item that's being reviewed. So that's a thing. So then I create this, a thing. The most generic type of item is a thing, right? So description, BitClub Network is a Bitcoin mining review company. Oh, that's the stupid English, but whatever, it still works. Okay, then an image, the main entity of the page, the name, the same as, and then the URL. So the thing that I'm reviewing, okay, is BitClub Network. The aggregate rating that I'm rating is the thing, which all falls under the product, right? And then we end up with that schema. Oops, the biggest one is the top one, BitClub Network. There we go. And how it works, if you guys look at this, if I load the smallest one like this, that's why these are structured, right? Anything that's structured means this thing is a part of this aggregate rating, and this aggregate rating is a part of this product, and this product is a schema inside of this folder, right? So like, let me show it to you like this from bottom up. Let's load up the thing schema for BitClub Network and render it. It's tiny, right? It's just a little snippet of code for a thing. Okay, but remember, a thing is part of the aggregate rating. I was rating a thing. So now if I load up the aggregate rating with the thing that I was reviewing, let's look at that schema. It's a little bit bigger, right? Because now it has the thing. There's the other one. But now it also has the aggregate rating of the thing. So now I'll back up again. Well, what is this thing all about? Well, it's product, right? So I go to BitClub Network. This is the product that I'm reviewing, and the thing that is, and I render that schema, and now we got the full-on schema. Okay, I know that this is a hard thing to grasp, guys, but trust me, just start doing it and start using it, and you'll get better and better and better. All you have to know, really, guys, okay, is read these descriptions and listen to what they say. If it's saying, you know, aggregate rating, if you go to add an aggregate rating, okay, and then it says aggregate rating, and it's like you come here and there's nothing there, it says no aggregate rating found, it means you have to go create an aggregate rating. So go create the aggregate rating and fill in the shit, right? Just start building and you will get better at it, and you'll eventually find like, wow, this is actually a really good tool. You know what I mean? It's hard because schema's hard. Schema is not an easy thing to understand, let alone to build. But this tool does make it easier, and we've done as much as we can to make it as easy as possible. And I forget what the original question was, but I hopefully answered it. Probably, oh yeah, it was about the aggregate ratings. So that was a really long answer for that. Holy shit, I'm an hour and a half in. I talk a lot. Okay, good. Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Sam. Is there a PSv3 forum where you can ask for for and give reviews to each other. Yeah, the Project Supremacy group, Bruce. Ping. Go ahead and do it in there. You know what, guys? I'm gonna leave it at that for today, just because we covered a lot of schema there, and we covered what else did we cover there? We covered the updates and the rescue center, and we covered the affiliate link stuff, and we covered the social sharing again. Here, I guess I got my document, right? The good setup for social marketing, schema best practices, stuff like that. Yeah, let's leave it at that today, guys, so that we have a nice short replay. Where's the replay, Rick? You were late on the Webby, weren't you? The first thing I talked about was where the replays were. So replays, let's put that up here. We don't have a members area for Project Supremacy V3 like we do for V2. We are opening, that's the replays URL, guys. I should probably write that on there too, for anyone watching. Or just make it simple, take this shit out, okay? It's v3.projectsupremacy.com/webinars. We are creating, I'm working on this all the time, guys, because of the fact that we have so many products now, and like in scenarios like this, it's like, where's the replay for that? Where's this? Where's that? There's lots of groups, lots of this, lots of that. Facebook groups, people are getting a little more confused as we go on. Supremacy Digital is a new website that's coming, guys, that is going to host everything, and it's going to be organized by products. So you can see this is the line of Supremacy products now. It's Project Supremacy V3, V2, SerpTech, Local Supremacy, Keyword Supremacy, App Supremacy, and Supremacy Hosting. This is going to be a blog where I'm going to start like writing blog posts on certain things, or when we do webinars, we're going to do webinars from Supremacy Digital now instead of Project Supremacy. It's all coming eventually, but we're also going to have a members back area. It's going to be free to sign up for this site. You can see like me testing shit out here. It's going to be free to sign up for this site, and all replays and all trainings and all everything is actually going to now happen inside of the members area of Supremacy Digital, so that you have one place to go for everything. So this is what the members area looks like right now, but like say you're looking for a V3 video, you can just come to Project Supremacy V3 in the members area, and it'll take you to that area and have all the replays for that product in that. So that is coming. For now though, the replays for Project Supremacy V3 are v3.projectsupremacy.com/webinars, or just go to v3.projectsupremacy.com, and when the little pop-up comes up, it's for the webinar replays. And I'll have this one up either tonight or tomorrow for you guys. Thank you, Tim. Good, I'm glad you guys learn a lot. Always, of course, I'll keep the webinars going if you guys are learning a lot. Weekly, we found with SerpTech got a little stale and a little dry and boring because people were constantly asking the same stuff. I do plan on keeping these webinars for V3 weekly for the time being, guys. But if we start covering the same stuff too much, I'll probably opt to reduce the frequency of them rather than weekly. We'll probably start going bi-weekly and then monthly after that. So that's about it for now, I guess. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I'm glad you, I'm seeing a lot of cool comments here about learning stuff. So just keep plugging away, guys. V3 is a deadly, deadly tool. It's got so many things. I'm sure you guys are seeing that more and more as you're seeing like, holy Jesus, this thing does a lot more than I realized. Yeah, it's just an awesome tool. Just keep using it. And we'll see you next week, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I'll try to, I deleted the last one, but I'll try to include these in replays. But really, I mean, in the replay you have it. So it's, yeah, it helps us all stay a little bit more organized, Kath, for sure, when I write it out. I got that from Chris not Winter's record. He does that on his webinars, and Neil was like, "You got to do that on yours." I was like, "Okay." All right, that's it for me.
All right, guys. Have a great week.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye.